Hi folks, today I'm going to show you how to use Autodesk's Project Vasari to create conceptual mass models and then run energy analyses on those models and compare them. The first step is to go ahead and select a location. I'm going to do that by clicking the Analyze tab and then hitting Location. I'm going to go ahead and type in Stanford University, because that is where I am located, and hit search. Then select Stanford University. I'm going to zoom in. And then I'm going to move this red icon over here into this green space here, or to wherever I want to run my analysis. Make sure that this weather station is selected and hit Import Site Image. This is going to give me an image, show me the image of the site, and then I'm going to hit Import, and it's going to bring it into Vasari. Now on the screen you can see this green square. Now within this square is where I'm going to place the conceptual masses that I want to run the energy analysis on. Outside of the square, I can go ahead and place any other masses that I want, such as other buildings that could potentially have an effect on the mass that I want to analyze. In this case, there are no other buildings in this field, but I'm going to go ahead and place some masses outside there anyway. I'm going to do that by going up to the Model tab and then hitting Create Mass. And I'm going to select the square tool. I'm going to go ahead and draw a rectangle. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to give it some height. I'm going to hit Finish Mass. And I'm going to do that one more time and create one more mass. Now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and create some design options for the masses that I'm actually going to run the energy analysis on. To do that, I'm going to go to Analyze, and then I'm going to select Design Options. And here I'm going to create a new option set, which I will rename and call Building Shapes. And within this option set, I'm going to create a couple different options. The first option I'm going to call Short Box. The second option I'm going to call Tall Box. The third option I'm going to call Cylinder. You can go ahead and create, different options such as rotating, building, even creating L shapes, whatever you like. And I'm going to select Close. And then down here, there's going to be this drop-down menu. And if I click on it, I can see my different options. I'm going to go ahead and select the Short Box option. And I'm going to draw that mass. I'm going to do that by going to Model. I'm going to say Create Mass. And I'm going to draw my short box. Now, before I go ahead and finish this mass, I'm going to add some parameters to the length, width, and height so that I can change them easily afterwards. I'm going to do that by selecting different faces, and then making the dimensions permanent. Going up here to the label drop-down menu and selecting add parameter. I'm going to call this building width and make it an instance parameter and hit OK. I'm going to select top face. I'm going to make the height permanent dimension. I'm going to go back to the label drop-down menu and hit add parameter. And call this building height. Make it an instance parameter. And I'm going to select this face here, rotate around the building, and make the length permanent. Select it. Okay, add a parameter. Call it building length. Make that an instance parameter. Then I'm going to go ahead and finish the mass. Now, when I select the mass, you can see over here in the Properties dialog box, the dimensions that I added, the parameters that I added now show up, and I can really easily and quickly change those parameters. Make the building width, say 100 feet, and hit apply. Now I'm going to go ahead, select the mass, and I'm going to copy it to the clipboard. I'm going to go to the tall box design option. I'm going to hit the paste drop down menu and select align to same place. We'll select the building and I'm alter its parameters. So this is the tall box, so I'm going to make the height 50 feet. And I'm going to make the length 100 feet. Actually, I'll make the length 70 feet. Now I have my tall box option. And finally, I'm going to go to the cylinder option. I'm going to hit Model, Create Mass. I'm going to grab the Circle tool, draw a circle, grab it, and create my cylinder. And I'm going to hit Finish Mass. Now, I can go ahead and turn on shadows by coming over here, selecting this button to turn the shadows on. Now this way, I can see the effect of the sun. I can actually look at the sun path by selecting this button down at the bottom left of the screen and turning the sun path on. Now I can actually go ahead and move and change the position of the sun by either dragging or clicking, changing the time. You can also change the date. And this is all going to affect what kind of shadows are going to be placed on the conceptual mass when I run the energy analysis on. Once that's done, the last step is to divide the conceptual masses into mass floors. And to do that, we go ahead and select the mass, in this case the cylinder, and hit this button here called Mass Floors. Before I do that, actually, I need to make sure that I have enough floors in my model. And to do that, I'm going to go to the main model. I'm going to change the way this is shown to consistent colors. Over here, I'm going to look at the front view. And here I can see different floor levels. In this case, there's enough for the main model, or the short box option. But now, if I look at the tall box, I need to add some more levels. This is what's going to divide the conceptual mass into mass floors. So I'm going to go back to the main model. I'm going to go to the Model tab. I'm going to select Level. I'm going to pick the Pick Lines tool, and I'm going to offset it 10 feet. And I'm going to go ahead and create a couple more floors. And that should do it. Now I can look at the tall box and see that I have enough floors. Go back to the 3D view. And now I'm going to divide my masses to mass floors. I'm going to select the short box, select the box, and hit mass floors. And I'm going to pick the mass floors that I want to divide the mass into, and select OK. I'm going to do that for the tall box. And also for the cylinder. Once that's done, I can go ahead and run analysis. I'm going to do that by selecting the Analyze tab. And there's two different kinds of analysis we can run. We can run an Ecotech solar radiation analysis, and do that by selecting the Ecotech solar radiation button. And I'm going to click Select Mass Faces to Analyze. And I'm going to go into the model and pick the mass faces that I want to analyze. Go back and click this arrow again. Now I can see solar radiation analysis for this option. I can go ahead and do that for the other options if I want as well. Now the other type of analysis that we can run is over here. We can select Enable Energy Model. This analysis is more information, is more in depth. Once you do that, you can see that Vasari divides the building here, creates glazing surfaces. You can look at the settings that it automatically has by clicking on Energy Settings. You can change these if you like, or you can individually change different faces by tabbing and then selecting and going into the Properties dialog box, selecting by surface, and then you can change the percentage of glazing for that particular bay to say 60%. You can also go ahead and add shading and control the depth of the shade. In this case, I'll make it 3 feet. and here it shows up in the model. And once the settings are all the way you want them, you can go ahead and hit Analyze Mass Model. In order to make this work, you have to be signed in over here into your Autodesk account. We'll call this cylinder. Say continue. And then I'm going to do this same thing for one of the other options. Once my computer finishes talking with the cloud, I'm going to drop down. I'm going to go to the tall box option, and I'm going to select Analyze Mass Model. If I wanted, I could go into this model and change the percentage of glazing and add shading if I like. I'm not going to do that now, but that is an option. And once that's done, you can go up here to Results and Compare. You can see that both these are still running. When they're complete, I can go ahead and click on one of them individually, or both of them individually, and look at the results. And I can also select both of them and then hit Compare, and I'll get a side-by-side comparison of the energy analysis.